know this is going to be a little political here, but I want to ask you something here. Hour number 3, Philly Godfather will join us. So I saw a interview that Brett Baer did with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. And I didn't know what this phrase meant by sports washing. I had to look it up. I guess you invest in a country's passions like the Eagles. And what you do is you're cleaning your own issues that you have in your own country when it comes to like equal rights or gay rights or what have you. And what it does is it's called sports washing. And from what I understand, the Crown Prince said, oh, yeah, we're going to invest in the NFL, in Major League Baseball. They're going to start investing and putting money in. How do you feel about that? Having Saudi Arabia, they already own the PGA. How would you feel about them owning the Eagles or investing in the Eagles? Would it matter to you? I heard him say they're going to keep doing it. Okay? Dude, Chris, he has the money. You think? That guy could probably buy the NFL, all 32 teams if he wanted. Hey, yeah, China owns the NBA pretty much. How would you feel about that? Would it matter to you? Like, does it matter to you? Your phones are made. I don't know how to think about that. I was like this, man, I go to Lincoln Financial. I don't give a shit who owns the team, really. I care the Eagles are playing. Am I supposed to care about that? Yeah, the Russian, right, that oligarch. That's right, Quan. Yeah. But am I supposed to care about that? Not a massive topic here. I thought I saw that and I had to look up sports washing and I had no idea what that term was. It's like cleaning your soul for the injustices of your own country by investing in American sports teams or teams around the world. I was like, wow, they're coming up with all these psychotic phrases now. I mean, right? I don't know. All right. Let me move on to this now. Tell me who this is. Tell me who this is. 1-11 record in prime time. 61.9 completion percentage in prime time. 194 passing yards in prime time. 12 TDs, 16 picks in prime time. And a quarterback rating of 70.6. Who am I? Ty, that's a great name, Ty. Danny Dumps. Danny Dumps. Holy shit. You gave that guy 40. Hey, Tone, is it 46 or 48? I don't know, Baker. You gave that guy $46 million for that shit? Wow. Dude, the Giants are never going to be good again. They are never going to be good again. So you're trying to get rid of Barkley, and you're going to get rid of Barkley. You brought no receivers in. You re-signed a bum quarterback. Your coaches, hey, okay, watch this. If I'm getting on the Eagles here, what do you think they're doing in New York? Now, again, that's 0-2 versus 2-0. And there's no way the Eagles look like that Giant team. I mean, get this. The Eagles playing the way they are now. Here's the score of the Eagles-Giants game. In my opinion, here's what would be the score of the Eagle-Giants. 35-10? Maybe. 35-7? Right? I mean, 35-10? I'll give you 10. And they're not even playing good ball right now. And I still think that, dude, how did the Eagles lose all that personnel and the Giants not take advantage of that and not get better? Darren Waller. Tony and I were both saying this. Darren Waller's not going to make you better. And I mean better enough where you're going to beat teams like San Francisco, Dallas, or the Eagles. You adding Darren Waller was not going to beat the Eagles. You have done nothing. Remember what I told you when it comes to building a team. The first thing you start with is, I've got to draft versus the teams that are in my division. I've got to beat my division opponents because I play them twice. They're going to have schematics on me. They're going to have knowledge of my personnel on me. You see them all the time. The Giants got worse. Danny Dimes' whole line is awful. When they play us, he's going to get killed. So wait a minute. Dirty D. Then they should have signed Andre Dillard. Or Isaac Seumalo. More so than Darren Waller. Darren Waller. Look at what Hunter Henry did. Look at the handful he was. Right, Tone? Look at Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is a handful for the Eagles. You could have a guy, Hunter Henry, to match up versus the lesser talented linebackers in Philly. You didn't need to have the highest paid tight end in the league. You needed to have Seumalo. You know what I would have done? I would have saved a ton of dough and a third-round pick. I would have signed Seumalo and Andre Dillard, my two new guards, and I would have hired somebody like Giesick. And Mike Giesick's still better than your linebackers. Because if that guy Waller's not an impact player and he's hurt, it's a waste of a move. He brings nothing but cap hell to you. The fundamentals in New York right now, since Jerry Reese, the general manager, has left, along with Tom Coughlin. By the way, that franchise has not been the same since Coughlin left the building. That's how you build. That's how Howie builds his team. Dude, you build your team how your division is set up. Trent Williams versus Derek Barnett. How many penalties will both teams receive in punches thrown? You might have to get Dana White in for that one. Hey, you could get me any guy, any tight end, and I'm going to beat the Eagles. Anyone that's decent. Hunter Henry gave you problems. I didn't need to have Darren Waller's $18 million on my payroll and surrendering a third-round pick. You didn't help your team. That thing last night was a train wreck offensive line-wise. So you have a $46 million quarterback and a $2 offensive line. Solid. The Giants have no fundamentals in how to build and compete against the Giants, or the Giants have no comprehension on how to beat Philly right now. They have no understanding of how to beat them. If I'm the Cowboys and I'm Washington, do you know exactly what I'm doing? I'm getting tight ends. I'm getting stronger in D-line and O-line and edge rushing because I got to come after Hurts. And right now, the Eagles don't have any linebackers or safeties. What am I doing? I'm getting a pass catcher like Christian McCaffrey. I'm getting tight ends because the Eagles can't cover tight ends. They haven't been able to cover tight ends in 2 years. They can't cover them. Okay? But before you get a top quality tight end, you better have an O-line like the Eagles do. See, the Eagles can afford to move off of Zach Ertz. Why? Nobody thought Goddard was going to be better, but he is. But you can do that shit when you got an O-line like Philly does. By the way, I'll tell you one of the things that's a little bit disheartening to hear around the league is that people are more down on the offensive line of Philadelphia than they are on the quarterback. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Now, I get it. The center looks old, and Lane has not played well. He has not played well. And Mulata played well against the Vikings and was not very good at all against New England. Actually, I think the guard play by Landon Dickerson has been good. Lane Johnson has not played well. He's not graded well. And the right guard, it's suspect. Okay? Scott goes like this, I haven't heard that. So you think Gavin Jalen have 7 sacks, almost 4 a game, and your quarterback getting hit more in the passing game, you think they've played good? Or do you think they had a good quarter against the Vikings running the ball? Again, your quarterback, you've given up 7 sacks. 7. I don't think Lane's played well. I think he's played okay. I wouldn't go, that was last year. Then again, he's going to be playing great coordinators here. Got another guy coming up. By the way, Shaq Barrett will be on him. Probably think he'll handle him. Last week, they played great. No, they didn't. Pass protecting? No, they did not. They played great. Guy throws for 345 yards against that defense, and they played great against the Vikings defense. The Vikings were even hitting him, and they suck out loud. Vikings had one of the worst defenses in the league, and they were still hitting Jalen. They did well in the run. No shit. That's how you won the game. You didn't win it because of your passing game. Hey, by the way, your running backs are atrocious in pass protection. Every single last one of them. Gainwell plays because he's probably the best pass protector. Horrific grades by the running backs. More so than, and it's totally hurt the line. Your running backs are terrible pass protectors. It's totally the reason why Rashad Penny's not playing. Completely why he's not playing. He cannot pass protect. The Eagles found this out. They know this. I think Lane is still dealing with that hernia surgery. I think they're throwing new things at him. Okay? I do. But once again, I just want to make sure so many people out there can understand. I said pass protection. You're pass protecting. Okay? I think the aspect of the game that gets lost or just doesn't get talked about is the poor pass pro from the running back. Absolutely. That is carried over to some of the deficiencies in the pass protection with the guys up front and the 5 guys. Absolutely. Because you know what you do, Tone? You know, when the quarterback comes to the line of scrimmage and Jason Kelce makes an odd or even call, I think when teams blitz hurts, it makes the O-line look. It does. Here. This is how it happens. Jalen will come to the line of scrimmage, and the first thing that will be said from Jason Kelce will be odd even. Odd even means a man over him or a man on a shade or a forefront. Okay, odd is nose guard on the nose of the center, which means what? Center's got to get the ball quicker because he's got a guy on his nose, which means this. you're more open to the 2A gaps on blitzes internally. And what's the one thing we're still looking at when it comes to Jalen? Internal pressure up the middle. That's where he's been feeling it. So they're putting a lot of odd fronts on them. And Kelsey hasn't played the greatest. So what's happened is when Kelsey goes like this, odd, he's going to slide. And he's going to try to pick up either the nose or the blitzing backer. Well, if you don't have a running back who understands that, I'll tell you what, Zeke Elliott, in my opinion, the reason that Zeke Elliott's in New England is because he's a heck of a pass protecting running back. He's really great in pass protection. I mean, he does not get fooled back there. And to me, what's happened is Jason has had to stay on the nose, which means what? The running backs have to take on those blitzing backers or stronger free safeties. They're doing a poor job of it. They're just doing a poor job of it. Howie has to invest next year, draft picks on 2 quality defensive guys to give us a shot. You know, but here too, Bear, I would say this. You don't have to go first round with linebackers or safeties. You can get guys that are really good in the second and third round. I think they need another edge rusher and a corner in the first round next year. I'd go corner and edge. Okay? Corner and edge. That's where I would go. If I'm going first round, to me is corner and edge. And then in the second and third rounds, safety, linebackers, somewhere in there. They need a complete overhaul of that second level and third level defensive. You're going to need a corner because Slade's not on the team next year. We need to get Sidney Brown on the field more. He's got to play a little bit more patient. By the way, he's got to be a better tackler. He's a spearer. And what I mean by that is he's not a very good open field tackler. He's totally got to be better at that. Eagles haven't had a good pass pro running back since LeGarrette Blount was outstanding. There's no reason Devontae Smith should be better in pass pro than a running back. That's a great take. It absolutely is. All right.